Hello, my friends. My name is Walter Williams, and I'm a HUD 203K consultant out of Southeast Michigan and Northern Ohio. And today I'd like to share with you what is actually a HUD 203K consultant. Now, to my lending partners and realtors, you, well, some of you know what I do as a consultant, but a lot don't. So let me explain to you what this is. Um, HUD, which is the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, has created this classification that we have to be certified by HUD. And what we do is provide guidance and oversight during the renovation process for property financed with a FHA and non-FHA product. FHA is a HUD 203K loan. Non-FHA is a Fannie Mae Homestyle or Freddie Mac Choice loan and other relatable products. We play a critical role in ensuring that the renovations meet HUD guidelines and the borrower's objectives. So some of the responsibilities that we have as a consultant is property assessment. Before I go any further, let me explain. There are two roles that a consultant fit. One is pre-closing and post-closing. So the pre-closing consists of assessing the property. We evaluate to determine whether the scope of the planned renovations, and we identify necessary repairs or improvements. In addition to that, if the borrower or contractor has a renovation plan, which is it could be some sketches of what the house should look like once the renovation is complete. We welcome to assess that as well. Some of the examples that we have is, you have a borrower, they find their home and they want to go to Home Depot or IKEA or some other store to get the plan so they can visualize what that space is going to look like. So as a consultant, it's our job to, take all of this into consideration in terms of ascertaining whether or not that property is going to satisfy the borrower's needs. The most important part of this process is, as we determine the cost on the repair. So, based on our assessment and the review of the plans, we provide an independent estimate of the total cost of the renovation. This estimate helps the borrower and lender determine the loan amount and the budget for the project. That is very, very important at that stage of the game. As consultants, we are not allowed to look at any contractor's bid because we don't want to be jaded in putting together this document. We call it in the industry a feasibility study or a preliminary work write-up as we go to the property to assess what the scope of work entails, not only for the borrower's objectives, but also the HUD guidelines. What HUD is asking for, in addition to the design items from the borrower, they're also asking if the property has defects from minimum property standards. And it's the consultant's job to evaluate it and come up with the cost to those repairs. And one of the most important part of what we do is the selection of contractors. Now, the borrower may have their own contractor, that's okay. But a good consultant should have a roster of contractors. And it's our job to assess, the renovation work, the ones who are going to perform it. Contractors may provide recommendations or help the borrower. They help the borrower in selection of materials. But as a consultant, it's also our job to review, for a full 203K, for example, we recommend having 3 contractors bids. And we just want to make sure that not only competitive pricing is going to take place, but how you're going to relate. You and the contractor going to have a relationship. It's going to be a relationship of a project going to take from 6 to 12 months to complete. So to have those multiple bids is very important. Now, post-closing. This is when you select the contractor and we actually going into the renovation of your dream home. Part of my role as a consultant is the monitor of the construction process. Throughout the renovation process, we monitor the work performed by the contractor to ensure it meets the agreed upon standards and specifications. They conduct periodic inspections to verify that the work is progressing as planned and address any issues or concerns that arise. They means consultants. That's our primary job. Now, during the course of the renovation, if an issue comes up and it may create an issue, we call it change order, then we'll, as a consultant, we'll meet with the borrower and the contractor to ascertain what a change order occurs. Then, before the work is commenced, we go to the lender to get a pre-approval from the lender. So, during the process, we call these our draw inspections. So, when I come out there to do that evaluation, the purpose of it from a contractor's perspective for them to get paid. Now, the beauty of a rehab loan is whatever the agreed amount that happens between a borrower, the lender, and the contractor, those funds is placed in escrow. So every month, as a consultant, I come out to do an evaluation on the work that was done at the time. So, we want to be assured that those funds are released according to the project timelines and milestones, and that payment to be made to the contractors in a timely manner. So that's another purpose that a consultant serves, is to make sure the job is done right according to not only the borrower's expectations, but also to the lender's expectation as well. And finally, when the project comes to a close, we provide what we call a final inspection. So, once the renovations are complete, we conduct a final inspection of that property to verify that all the work has been completed satisfactorily and to meet HUD requirements. They provide a report to the lender certifying that the renovations have been successfully completed. In the final inspection, also any what we call punch list items, mean that anything that was damaged during the course of the renovation, the contractor is obligated to repair those items or replace those items. So that's more important too. And also the permits that was pulled have to be finalized, inspected, and approved at that final inspection. So in summary, we play a critical role in the rehab loan process, providing expertise and guidance to ensure that the renovation projects proceed smoothly and successfully. Our involvement helps protect the interests of both the borrower and the lender and ensures that the renovated property meets all equitable standards and regulations. As you can see, a consultant wears a lot of hats. We are here to protect not only the borrower, but the lender as well. And not only the lender, even the contractor, because all of us have to work well together to get your dream home completed, not only in a timely manner, but to the expectations that was made at the beginning of this process. So I hope this little explanation of what we do as consultants what will help you know that this is a very important role in the rehab process. So again, my name is Walter Williams. I'm a HUD 203K consultant. Thank you for listening.